welcome back to part 2 of the student midwife Q&A. It's your girl Nadine. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and also make sure you watch part 1 of this video, and I will link it in the description box below. So before watching this video, make sure you watch part 1. First question is, what is the most challenging part about being a student midwife? So the most challenging part about being a student midwife for me, I found it very challenging to get my essays done on time. For example, if I had, life kind of gets in the way, placement gets in the way, essays are not really for me. So the most challenging part of midwifery is essay writing, getting my essays done in time. Just essays in general is the most challenging thing for me. Trying to juggle writing an essay and handing it on time, and still having to go out on placement, still having to, fill out my other things that I need to do for the course. So yeah, for me that's the most challenging thing that I found as a student. How did I balance life and studying? I still kind of had a social life as a student midwife. So I kind of, for my own sanity, I needed to still have kind of like a social life. If I was just studying and I had zero social life, I would have gone crazy. So I kind of had to make time for it. So if I had done my essays, if I had done my revision, if I had no placement, if I was on top of everything, I would make sure, okay, I'm up to date with everything, I'm on top, I don't have any essays that are due, I can go out, I can see my friends, I can chill, I can travel. I managed to have a social life because it kept me together. So you just have to kind of organize your studying time, your school time, and your social life. If you're organized that way, you're going to be able to still have a social life and be able to balance and juggle both of them at the same time. So yeah, that's how I managed to have both. Can you be in a relationship and still study midwifery? Yes, you can still be in a relationship and still study midwifery. Your other half has to be very understanding that you have long hours, you have essays, you have exams to do. They need to be like understanding that you need to prioritize your education, and anything else just comes, secondary. I had a tutor in my first year that kind of was like, oh, if you're in a relationship, you might as well just forget about that relationship now because you need to give 100% to midwifery. Well, there's people on my course that are married, getting married, have boyfriends, girlfriends. So yeah, you are able to keep a relationship if you prioritize, and your other half is kind of like understanding of what is expected of you, and you're going to have demands on you that they need to be understanding of. Next question is, how have I dealt with stress and demands on this course? I have a very good support system. I have amazing friends, I have amazing family. So anything, if it all gets a bit too much for me, I tend to, call my friends, go out with my friends, kind of, yeah, like you need to talk to someone. You can't just bottle it all in. So I kind of, if I have any issues, concerns, if anything happens on placement, if anything happens on my course, I kind of have like my family to talk to. After a long 12-hour shift, I come home and mum is ready to listen, sister's ready to listen, friends are ready to listen. I have family, I have friends. I kind of have a hobby outside midwifery. That's also something that I kind of taken the stress off of me, because it can be quite intense, midwifery. It's a very kind of intense course, so you need to have kind of like a support system, something to take your mind off the hecticness of the course. So yeah, that's kind of how I handled it. Made sure I had good people around me, make sure that the people on the course, I spoke to them. If I had any concerns, I had people on the course that I can go to. I had tutors that I've made that I've made good relationships with, that I can talk to them about things. So yeah, just kind of talking through the stress and any anxieties that I may have, making sure that I have people there that are willing to listen to me and kind of help me on my journey. So the next question is, how did I best prepare for placement? So placement, they kind of during uni, they kind of give you a rundown of what you need to prepare. They kind of give you they give you your uniform, they give you all your books that you need for placement. You just need to I don't know, I read around the hospital that I'll be working on, just kind of, I did some basic reading on the hospital that I was going to start working in. There's not really much you can do apart from reading, like, you know, guidelines online on how to care for women in labor, antenatal, postnatal. Yeah, there's not really much you can do to prepare apart from just, you know, just be ready to just start, willing to learn and willing to experience and go on this journey. I was excited, and I just kind of wanted to get out there. So the next question is, how did I find working with mentors? So there's some mentors that I found that were literally amazing. They were there to teach, they were there to help, they were very understanding that you're a student, but they will never leave you to do things that are way out of your comfort zone, not until you're comfortable. Also, some mentors that were very kind of old school, very old-fashioned, that didn't really want a student. It's an NMC requirement to be a mentor. So for some midwives, it's kind of it's not optional, they have to be a mentor. So when they get students, it's noticeable that they don't want students, that they don't like working with students. So I've had mentors that had, like, their behavior, their body language is like, I don't do students. I even had mentors that had said to me that I don't do students. I've had one midwife tell me that she doesn't like working with students, and all you can do is kind of like, you know, you're my mentor, there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, you just kind of have to deal with a lot of different personalities, and kind of, you may clash with mentors, but if you don't get on with the mentor, you are able to request a change in mentor. So you just talk to link tutors or CPFs, and they can arrange for you to have another mentor if you don't get on with the mentor that you've been assigned to. So yeah, I've had difficult mentors, and I've had really amazing mentors. Okay. So next question is, how many deliveries do you need to do to pass? The requirement is 40 deliveries at the end of the 3 years. You don't have to do 40 each year. You have to do 40 deliveries at the end of the degree to become a qualified midwife. Of course, there's other things like, you know, passing assignments, getting your books and competencies signed, you know, other bits and bobs, getting your hours. What else is there? Hours, books, assignments, exams, and your 40 deliveries. Everything has to kind of contribute into you getting your degree and becoming a midwife. But yes, the number of deliveries that you need to have is 40 deliveries that you do on your own, supervised, of course. You have to deliver the baby and the placenta, and that classes as a delivery. So the next question is, do you have to do night shifts as a student? Yes, you have to do night shifts as a student. If your mentor does nights, you're doing nights. If your mentor does days, you're doing days. Long days, earlies, yeah. So you can do nights literally the first week you start placement, if that's your mentor's rota. That's your mentor's rota, you have to follow your mentor's rota. Next question is, how hands-on are you on placement? So on placement, you're kind of like a mini midwife. You're a junior midwife, so you kind of have to be hands-on. Obviously, everything you get taught either in uni or on placement before you're physically hands-on. But yeah, you're basically 100% hands-on. You're delivering, you're assisting with medication, you're basically looking after that woman with your mentor, assisting your mentor, hands-on, preparing, cleaning, preparing, caring, the whole lot. You're 100% hands-on from the beginning up until the end of the course. You need to be hands-on so that you know what you're doing when you're qualified. Next question is studying midwifery difficult? Midwifery, the course midwifery, and also like nursing, it's not the same as any other course in uni. For example, people that study English, psychology, you know, maths, law. Midwifery is a lot different. It's harder. You have placement, you have to juggle placement and uni. There's a lot more of you. It's like 50% uni and 50% practical, whereas most courses you're just basically in uni and that's it. You don't have to do placement. But for midwifery, it's 50% theory, 50% practical, depending on the uni you go to. It's not your typical average course as any other course. It's very, very different and very, very kind of demanding and difficult. Yeah, so you need to kind of go into this called prepared. So next question is, how did I deal with not being able to do tasks on placement? So not being able to do tasks on placement that were asked of me, you just basically, if your mentor asks you to do something that you're not sure of, you don't know how to do it, just be honest about it. Just say, can you show me how to do this again? Or I'm not comfortable, or I don't know how to do this task, so can you show me, and the next time maybe I can do it. Mentors are very understanding that you're a student, so if there's something that you don't understand or you don't know how to do, you need to just basically voice it. Instead of you just going ahead and doing it wrong, it's better to voice that you're not 100% sure, or you don't know what it is that is asked of you, and then so that you can watch and then do it next time, and they don't penalize you for it. They don't look at you like, you know, like you're stupid. No, be open, be honest, just tell them that you don't understand, you don't know, and they are more than happy to show you and assist you. Next question is, have I witnessed a stillbirth or a bereavement on placement? I have, yes, I have. I've witnessed one stillbirth, and I have cared for a woman that had lost her baby. Only one woman. I've only experienced this once. You get support. Before you go and look after the woman, your mentor asks you if it's okay, if you're okay to go look after this woman. They don't just kind of force you in unless you're prepared and you're mentally willing, not like mentally prepared to deal with that kind of situation. So, you know, my mentor asked me and I was like, yeah, it's something that, you know, you're going to have to experience as a midwife. So I thought, you know, as a student, why not? Before I'm qualified, let me experience this now. So yeah, I experienced and worked and cared for a woman that, you know, had a stillbirth. Next question is, have you been in an emergency as a student midwife? Yes, I have. I've been in quite a few emergencies as a student midwife. I'm gonna say roughly 5 emergencies. So we had a woman come in. She was in labor. You know, my mentor did a VE, and then, you know, bulging membranes, and then her waters kind of went, and then it wasn't a head presenting. So, you know, we had to kind of rush her, because we were on a midwifery-led unit, so we kind of had to rush her down to labour wards and straight into theatre, and they had to use forceps to assist delivery, and then ended up doing a cesarean section, because obviously the trace wasn't wasn't that great. So yeah, that was one emergency that kind of stuck with me, because it was all kind of manic. I remember I scrubbed as soon as we got into theatre, because my mentor was doing the paperwork and she was scribing. I scrubbed and I was ready to catch the baby when the baby come out, and it took them a while to take that baby out, and I was kind of standing there like, oh my god, what's kind of happening here? And you just kind of had to stand there and wait for this baby to come. So yeah, that was one emergency that I've been. Another emergency that I've been in was, I think we had a shoulder dystocia. I was on labour ward. You know, my mentor and I were assisting this lady to birth her baby, and then head was out, and then there was delay. We noticed there was obstruction of the shoulder, so we pushed the emergency bell, and kind of everyone rushed in, and then I was scribing, and then my mentor was, you know, doing drugs and etc, and then yeah. So yeah, as a student you will witness emergencies, and you will have to kind of get involved if you can, and you kind of have to assist your midwife if you can. Next question is, do you have to assist in C-sections? As midwife, we kind of bring the lady into theatre, and then doctors will be there ready to do the cesarean sections. The midwives don't do the cesarean sections. The midwife scrubs in and waits for the baby to be delivered by C-section. So you're just basically there, standing prepared, ready to receive the baby once the baby's out, and then check the baby through, etc, etc. So yeah, you do have to do some cesarean sections. If you can do that in your first year, second year, third year, doesn't matter. I did my first cesarean section in first year. But yeah, it's something that you have to witness, and I highly recommend try and see as many cesarean sections as you can, because you get to observe things like the anatomy. Some of the doctors kind of talk you through the cesarean section. It's a good learning experience, so I would highly recommend that you go and see a cesarean section. Next question is, how many hours/days do you do as a student midwife? So depending on your mentor and the area that you're working in, you follow your mentor's rota. So if your mentor is doing 3 nights a week, you do 3 nights a week. If she's doing 4 nights a week, you do 4 nights a week. If you're in community, it's 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and you kind of do like home visits and clinics 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. But yeah, the hours is 12-hour shifts, unless you're doing Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and you kind of follow your mentor's rota. So if your mentor's doing, I don't know, 3 days a week, you do 3 days a week, or if she's doing 4 days a week, you do 4 days a week. So yeah. So next question is, how did I find giving medication, and do I need to know all the drugs? So you have like a medication session in uni where they kind of talk to you about medication, and then, you know, what you can give and what you can't give. And then on placement you can give certain medications supervised. You can't give IV medication until you're qualified, but tablets, certain injections you can give supervised. You kind of have to do your own learning and your own research on medication. Obviously, if you don't understand any medication and what to give and what not to give, and what the medication does, you can ask your mentor. She can briefly tell you, okay, so this medication does this, we're giving this medication because of this. But there is VNFs that you can read that are on the wards. You have well, in my uni we have a medication book. You can read and do your own learning about medication, but I very recommend that you read about medication, that you know your medication, the side effects, you know, what you can and can't give to women, what it does, what it doesn't do, all of that. I recommend that once you're on placement and you kind of have a feel around placement, you learn your drugs, because drugs, yeah, so drugs for me was the hardest thing to learn. So I suggest you learn your drugs from early, and then you'll be fine. But you're not expected to learn every single drug off by heart. No, just the basics, what they do, what they don't do, why you use them. Yeah. So the next question is, what did I learn / pick up very quickly on placement? I kind of picked up how to insert a catheter very quickly. So in uni you kind of have a stimulation session where they teach you the anatomy, and then they teach you how to insert a catheter on a kind of like a doll, and then you go out on placement and your mentor's like, oh, do you want to insert a catheter? And you're just like, but for me, I kind of was like, yep, let's go, let's do this. So that's one thing that I kind of picked up very quickly, how to insert a catheter. Once I did it, I literally, every time I was with that same mentor, she'd be like, yep, my student Nadine is going to be inserting the catheter. Nadine, the catheter is all you. So that's one thing I learned how to do very quickly. The question is, what do I like most about midwifery? I like the whole birth process, you know, and after a long day of looking after a woman, you have a lovely baby that comes from, you know, the woman's hard work and all your support that you've given her. Literally seeing a birth and a delivery will never be old to me. It will always be like, every single time, like, oh my gosh, yes, we have a baby. It's kind of something that I haven't gone over yet. I don't know whether I will get over it maybe in 10 years time, but for now, seeing a delivery, seeing a birth is still so very fascinating to me. It's still so very amazing to me, and that is one thing that I love about midwifery, is just being part of the journey, being able to be there and witnessing new life come into the world, and thinking, okay, I was here and it was me that I assisted this woman, and the thanks that the women give you, that, you know, they kind of, you know, looking at you like, you helped me through this, and it's just amazing to be part of that journey. Yeah, that's one thing that I love about midwifery, just the birth, witnessing a birth, being there, being present when new life, you know, enters the world, will never get owed to me. Hopefully, you know, in 20 years time I'll still be like, yay, you know, let's get a birth, yay. But you know, we'll see. But right, as of now, seeing a birth is still amazes me, till this day. Okay, next question is, what is the most random thing women say to you? The most random thing that I get, it's not really random, but the thing that I hear women say a lot when I walk into the delivery room, say for example I walk in before my mentor gets there, they say, you're a bit young to be a midwife, how old are you? Obviously when I'm on placement, when I'm in uni, I'm not done up like this. You know, I don't have my lashes on, no makeup, like zero makeup, you know, my hair's done, tied back, and I look very young. I'm 26 years old. When I don't have any makeup on and my hair's not done, I look like I'm about 16. So when I walk into a delivery room, the women look at me like they look at me like I'm lost. They're like, how old are you? Are you not too young to be a midwife? But then obviously, you know, you get talking to them, you tell them your age, they're like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah, I've never had any concerns or anything bad said to me because, you know, I look young or whatever. After I've cared for women, literally all I hear is nothing but good things. I've received cakes, cards, sweets, you know, they see past, you know, me looking young, and they kind of just, you know, help me in this moment in time. And yeah, that's what's amazing about it. Yeah, other than that, that's the most random thing that I can think about. They kind of look at me and they think, oh yeah, she's lost, or she's very young to be a midwife, and I'm just like, I'm 26 years old. Yes, believe it or not, I am here, and I will be looking after you. Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, what's the one thing that annoys you that people say since starting midwifery? The one thing that people say is they call me a nurse. I don't know why that annoys me, but it does. Majority of the student midwife that I worked with, they kind of get it. It's also something that annoys them too. When you call a midwife a nurse, it's like, no, I'm a midwife, and it's very, very annoying, because you just wanna be specific. You're a midwife, you're not a nurse. I'm just a midwife. I'm not a nurse. I didn't study nursing. I'm a midwife. You know, kind of midwives kind of cherish their title a bit. Well, I cherish my title. If I'm a midwife, I'm a midwife. Call me a midwife. So yeah, even if I tell people that I'm a midwife and they still call me a nurse, I'm just like, are you even gonna try? Are you even gonna try? But yeah, that's one thing that kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. When you tell someone you're a nurse, see my life. When you tell someone that you're a mentor, wow. When you tell someone that you're a midwife and they still proceed to call you a nurse, very, very annoying. Hopefully that changes soon, guys. Midwife, no nurse. So yeah, that is it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Give me a comment if you'd like to see more midwifery videos. This was kind of like my first midwifery video that I decided to do. If you'd like to, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you'd like to see more videos around midwifery and about the journey. But yeah, so I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.